Welcome to all you budding learners for another session in English writing skills. Students, during the course of this session, you are going to learn all about the skill of writing good letters. You see your parents, siblings, relatives, teachers, and everyone else texting each other via SMS, or they send emails to one another with the help of the internet to communicate and convey important news or information, right? Despite the use of emails and text messages, everyone has to write letters at some point. Letters are the most common forms of communication, and therefore you are being taught the art of writing a good letter when you are a student. They are also the oldest, easiest, and simplest forms of communication. Letters are often written to friends or relatives who are away from us. Other than these, there can also be letters of complaint, leave applications, job applications, thank you letters, letters requesting changes or making suggestions, etc. These are the main uses of drafting a letter. Students, you must remember that a good letter should ideally be made up of 3 paragraphs comprising of introduction, which introduces the topic of discussion or the main topic of the letter, which is given in the question itself. Body, which gives more details about the topic discussed. And lastly, we have conclusion that sums up the letter, repeating the important points for the person reading it. Let's learn a little about the sender and the receiver of the letter. The person writing the letter is called the addressor, while the person to whom the letter is written is the addressee. We can write different kinds of letters on any topic or subject matter. We may write to our friends discussing our holiday plans with them, or to our parents asking for their permission to go somewhere if you are staying far away in a hostel. You may also write letters to authorities complaining about any issue, or to your school principal or teacher to ask for their permission to participate in an event, or to tell them about your leave of absence. Therefore, the style of a letter depends on the nature of the correspondence. A letter can be either 1. Informal, 2. Formal. Let's start off with an informal letter. Before we write an informal letter, we must understand the entire format and the basic parts of an informal letter. Firstly, you must start the letter with the sender's, that is, addresser's, address. This is written on the top right-hand corner of the page in the following manner. Remember to mention the full address of the sender and use commas after every detail like shown on the screen. The address is punctuated with a comma after the name of the building and street. You must put a full stop after the name of the city. In an informal letter, you only have to mention one address, and that is the address of the sender. At times, the address and name of the sender is mentioned in the question given to you. Thus, you must read it very carefully and use the same address. Next, you must write the date. The date is written in the line below the address. A comma is placed after the month. Students, the date in any letter is written in any one of the following formats. 4th June 2020, 4 June 2020, June 4, 2020. It is never written as 4.6.2020 or 4/6/2020. As I told you, informal letters are written to family, relatives, and friends. Once you write the address and date, you must write either Dear and My Dear, followed by the name or relationship, depending on what kind of the relationship the sender and the receiver share. For example, if you're writing to your family members, then you could write Dear Mother or Father or Uncle or Auntie, My dear Anu or Suraj or brother or sister, etc. If you're writing to any of your friends, you must write Dear dash, comma. You can directly write the name of your friend in the blank. Next is the salutation. This is a form of greeting to the person to whom the letter is written. You could start with any of the following sentences in the first paragraph of your informal letter. How are you doing? I hope this letter finds you in the pink of health. I am writing to you after quite a long time. I received your letter last evening. I heard the news of dash. I am writing a letter to you because I wanted to dash. You can write why you are writing the letter to the receiver in the first paragraph. Let's discuss the body. The second paragraph of the letter, which is the body of the letter, deals with the main subject matter of the letter. The body may consist of one or more paragraphs, depending on the nature of the letter. Students, you must read the question carefully so that you can write the body of the letter well. While concluding the letter, you can use any of the following sentences. Give my love and regards to all at home, or aunt or uncle and cousin. I will write to you soon. Can't wait to hear from you. So eager and excited to meet you during the vacations. Take care of yourself. Lastly, after drafting the entire letter, you must write the subscription, which is also called the closing. It is a polite leave-taking. Letters to relatives and friends may end with yours affectionately, yours lovingly, your loving son or daughter, or yours love, etc. Once you write the correct subscription, then you write the signature. The signature is mentioning the name of the writer, which is written below the subscription to the right. Remember, an informal letter is signed off with just the first name. This means you must just write your first name at the end after the subscription. You may sign off with a name or XYZ when you are writing a letter for a school assignment, but you will always have to write your own name for an actual letter that you send to someone. Therefore, to sum it up, the parts of an informal letter are as follows. 1. Sender's address. 2. Date. 3. Salutation. 4. Body. 5. Subscription. 6. Signature. Let's try to write an informal letter. The question given to you is, write an informal letter to your uncle thanking him for the present he sent you on your birthday. By following the format, we start with the address, that is the sender's address, and then write the date. Next, we write the salutation. Remember, you are writing to your uncle. Thus, you can write, Dear Uncle, as your salutation and add a comma. For the main content of the letter, you can start off by asking him about his well-being and how you missed a lot during the birthday party. Next, you can thank him for the wonderful gift he sent you and also add a few details about the party and how you thoroughly enjoyed yourself with all your friends. You can also tell him how you would use the gift given by him and how helpful and valuable it is. While concluding the letter, you can tell him about you can't wait to meet him and your aunt during the Christmas holidays. You can end the letter by sending your love and regards to all your relatives. Last but not the least, write your loving niece or nephew and add a comma. Also, mention the name of the sender below it. Your loving niece, Tina. Students, that's how you should write a good informal letter. You have been given many solved examples in your book. You should read them carefully, remember the format correctly, and try to attempt the letters given in the assignment section of your books. Now, we will be discussing the format of a formal letter. Official or business letters are also called formal letters. As discussed previously, such letters are written to officials, school or college principals, teachers, and even editors of papers. They are brief and to the point and talk about only what is necessary. Generally, the size of a formal letter does not exceed 2 or 3 short paragraphs. A formal letter is written for any of the following purposes: make a complaint, make an inquiry, request, or ask for permission to do something. Firstly, formal letters are slightly different from informal letters. Here are some basic differences. Formal letters have 2 sets of addresses instead of 1. One is that of the addressor or the sender, and also of the addressee or the receiver of the formal letter. The tone of a formal letter is more serious and there is no casual or personal information involved in them. They are crisp and to the point as they are official in nature. They usually come with a subject line which is written after the receiver's address and gives an indication of the matter in discussion, which is the main topic mentioned in the question. Following are the basic parts of a formal letter. Just like an informal letter, you first need to write the sender's address. This is written on the top right-hand corner of the page. For example, Sacred Heart High School, Bandra, Mumbai 400050. Students, you must not forget the commas that should be added after the name of the building and street. Put a full stop after the name of the city. Next, you write the date. We know it must be written in any of the following formats: 4th June 2020, 4 June 2020, June 4, 2020. The next part of the formal letter is to write the receiver's address. This is written on the left-hand corner of the page. For example, if you are writing to your class teacher, then the address would be written as to the class teacher, Sacred Heart High School, Bandra, Mumbai 400050. Once you have neatly written the sender's address, date, and receiver's address, next you write the subject of the letter. This is kept crisp and to the point so that the receiver can understand the reason of the letter being written. The subject should ideally be short and to the point. The salutation should be written next on the left-hand side. This is a form of greeting to the person to whom the letter is written. For officials, employers, editors of newspapers, and other business purposes, you can write Sir, Madam, or Dear Sir, Dear Madam. For teachers and institutional heads, we generally use respected, respected Sir or respected Madam. Students, you must remember the following points while writing the salutation. Always use Madam while addressing a lady and never the short form Ma'am. Never address a person with Mr. or Mrs. and first name. It should always be the person's surname. When you are unsure about a lady's marital status, it is safer to address her by Miss, a common form used for both Miss and Mrs., rather than making a mistake. Addressing her incorrectly can be rude. The next thing you must focus on is the body of the formal letter, which deals with the main subject matter of the letter, which must be written in 3 short paragraphs. The first paragraph must consist of a self-introduction and the reason why you are writing the letter. The second para must contain the details about the subject. The third paragraph must consist of a thank you note to the receiver for the help being given on the left-hand side. For example, you can write it in the following manner. Thank you for your cooperation, thanking you in anticipation, etc. Lastly, the formal letter ends with the subscription that a polite leave-taking. While writing to acquaintances who are not that close, you must write Yours sincerely. In case of business letters, the sender can close with Yours faithfully or Yours truly. While writing to teachers and other institutional heads, you must write Yours obediently. Lastly, while writing to other official, you can write Yours faithfully. The signature, which is the signature name of the writer, is written below the subscription to the right. For example, Yours faithfully or sincerely or truly, Vishwas Deshmukh. Students, you may sign off with a name or XYZ when you are writing a letter for a school assignment. But you will always have to write your full name for an actual letter that you send someone. Therefore, to sum it up, the parts of a formal letter are as follows. 1. Sender's address. 2. Date. 3. Receiver's address. 4. Subject. 5. Salutation. 6. The body. 7. Subscription. 8. Signature. Students, now that you have understood the format of writing a formal letter, let's write one. The topic given to you is write a formal letter to the manager of the sports shop asking for a replacement of badminton rackets that you have purchased for your school. So students, we have our topic, and first we start with the sender's address, followed by the date and the receiver's address. Remember that in this we are writing a letter to the manager of the sports shop as a representative of the school. Therefore, the sender's address would be the school address, can be written in the following manner. 1. Sender's address. Sacred Heart High School, Bandra, Mumbai 400050. 2. Date. 25th October 2020. 3. Next, we write the receiver's address. The manager, MS Sai Sports, Civil Lines, Thane 401050. Now, you know we need to mention the subject of the letter, that is, replacement of the badminton rackets. 4. Subject: Replacement of badminton rackets. Now that we have written these, let's write the salutation and the main content of the letter. Firstly, you must introduce yourself in the first paragraph. You must write the main purpose of writing the letter, which is complaining against the badminton rackets that are not in good condition. 5. Salutation: Dear Sir. 6. The body: I am the sports instructor at Sacred Heart High School, Bandra, and had placed an order for various sports equipment on behalf of my school. We received the parcel from you but have found that the badminton rackets are not in good condition. Specify in the second paragraph of the letter that these rackets need to be replaced as soon as possible. We request you to replace the badminton rackets as early as possible, since our sports day is scheduled after a month and the students need them for practice. Lastly, after you complete the main content of the formal letter, end with a thank you note and the subscription with your name. Thanking you. 7. Subscription: Yours faithfully. 8. Signature: XYZ. You have now completed the formal letter. The next letter we will be writing is to the class teacher of your school, requesting him or her to grant you leave of absence. So first, we start off with the sender's address, the date, and the receiver's address, who is your class teacher. Sacred Heart High School, Bandra, Mumbai, 400050, 25th October 2020. To the class teacher, Sacred Heart High School, Bandra, Mumbai, 400050. Next, you write the subject, which is an application for a leave of absence. Subject: Application for leave. Once you write this, you can write the salutation, which should be Respected Madam. In the first paragraph of this letter, give your introduction by mentioning your full name, your class and division, and also your roll number. The next point must contain details as to why you would remain absent. You can choose to write you are unwell and the doctor has advised you to be on bed rest. You could also write that you need to attend a family function and therefore you require leave. You must clearly specify the dates for which you require the leave of absence and assure your teacher that you would complete the classwork and homework assignments in a timely fashion. Let's start writing. Respected Madam, I, Seema Samant, of your class 6A, am suffering from viral fever for the past 2 days. The doctor has asked me to take bed rest for the rest of the week. I would therefore request you to kindly grant me leave of absence up to Friday, 28th October. I assure you that I will make up for the work I miss during my absence and would submit it to the respective subject teachers as soon as I return. I would, therefore, be highly obliged if you grant me this leave of absence. You can now end your letter with a thank you note and the subscription with your name mentioned in the first paragraph of the letter. Thanking you in anticipation. Yours obediently, Seema Samant. Students, you have now learned the format and the way you need to write a formal and an informal letter. You can go through the different specimens given in your book and attempt the letters given in the assignment section.